Hey everyone, Raite here, and we are back with another review for Academia vs. Link VRAINS. I said in the last video that if that video got 5 likes by November 15th, that I would make another video on this. And you guys came through. We got 5 likes by November 14th, just in time. I was going to make the video on the 15th since I saw that it already reached 5 likes. But at the time I was busy, you know, my semester is coming to an end, so I got final projects and stuff. I also got, you know, personal stuff and my daily streaming schedule, which you should totally check out. Raite101 on Twitch. Shameless plug, I'm sorry. Yeah, so stuff got in the way, so I couldn't make the video right away. But I decided to stay up a little later today to finish this off because I want to get it up. I don't want to delay it anymore. So here we go. We start with episode 2 of Playmaker vs. Obelisk Force. And what's this video? I'll give you a little bit of context. So there was a problem when I was reviewing the video earlier today to try and obviously remember, because, you know, I made this video like 3 years ago, I believe. So obviously I was gonna forget. And as I was watching over it, I remembered that I never really explained how Yuya actually gets to Link VRAINS. Because it's pretty obvious that in the first episode, Yuya is clearly at Academia looking for Yuzu. And so I don't remember if this was a plot hole I created or if I did have a reason for it. I honestly don't remember, so I'm gonna erase the logical part and pretend that doesn't exist and that he magically teleported to Link VRAINS, okay? We're just gonna scratch that. Ignore it, please. I was 18. I did not know how to write stories. So yeah, we're just gonna say that Yuya is somewhere in Link VRAINS looking for Yusaku. But the reason that Yusaku is in VRAINS and not in Academia was because off-screen, Reiji told him that if you join our fight, then we'll leave you be. As long as you're there to help us in battle, then we won't get in your way of finding answers of what's happening in Link VRAINS. So Yusaku thinks it's a pretty good deal since he's a very independent person, obviously. So yeah, he's in Link VRAINS, he's looking for answers, seeing if he can find anybody that could help him. But obviously Link VRAINS is empty, there's no one there. So he has no one to turn to. The only people waiting for him or even trying to help him would probably be Blue Angel and Go. And they do appear in a later episode. They don't appear in this one though. He's running around trying to find people, but evidently there are Obelisk Force soldiers roaming around in Link VRAINS. They were originally there because they were hunting, you know, VRAINS characters down, trying to get the data for the project, which hasn't begun yet, but they're collecting the data for when it starts. They don't have to wait and do an entire cycle and risk the project getting destroyed if anyone interferes. So the project hasn't been officially started, but they are getting what they need for it. Hence why they kidnapped the girls and why the Obelisk Force are in Link VRAINS. So that's what they're doing, but they get a notification, if you say, from the professor and Revolver saying that, you know, we figured out that there are people coming for us. There are people trying to stop the project. If you see them, make sure to stop them. We can't have them interfering. So that's also why they're here. We gotta say, we must not get to the professor. Let's catch those bastards. So that's what they do. Yusaku is trying to run, finding a way, trying to not get caught, while also trying to find any clues on what could be happening. But that's where he runs into Obelisk Force members, unfortunately. They say, you know, we don't want any more trouble. Why don't you just come with us peacefully and no one has to get hurt? Yusaku, being the person he is, and you all know him quite well, refuses. He's very I make him very stubborn in this series, and refuses to go with him. They say we don't want things to get ugly, so if you don't want things to get ugly, just cooperate. He doesn't. So he's saying like, oh, so what? You gonna hurt me or something? And they're like, oh, we can do much more than hurt you. And they show that they can actually card people. And this is actually not true in cases of VRAINS characters. I made sure to hide the fact that they are there in VRAINS to collect people's data, but they made sure ahead of time, sorry I'm repeating words, but they made sure that if someone were to interfere as to what they were doing in VRAINS, to hide the fact that they were actually stealing data. So they use the carding excuse, which is what they are doing with Arc 5 or any other characters. But they want to hide the fact of what they're doing to VRAINS, because I guess you could say it's a little more cruel in a way. I don't know. So they show them, we can card you, we can take your soul and lock you up into a little piece of paper. And of course, Yusaku gets angry. He's like, you guys are doing this to the people of VRAINS, of the VRAINS world. You really don't want to mess with me. He's like, well, we tried to ask nicely, but things aren't going the way they planned. You know? So that's when the duel starts. Yusaku versus Obelisk Horse. And this is when we start the little Easter egg that I was talking about before. Let me see if I can find it. Around here. Yep. This is... I am sorry, I have not watched Yu-Gi-Oh! In a very, very long time. So I don't exactly remember. I think it's Clock Dragon? The fusion dragon that Yusaku has. And this is when I start talking about the Easter egg. If you don't notice, in every duel that Yusaku is in, he finishes the duel with a certain special summon dragon. Now in this case it is different, it is scripted differently because I had not planted that Easter egg in yet. So the duel doesn't necessarily finish with Clock Dragon, but he is included. I only came up with the fact that I'd use all the special summon dragons during Yusaku's next duel. So yeah, that's how it goes. He summons Clock Dragon, but finishes the duel with this Code Talker. I don't remember the Code Talker's name. I'm sorry about that. But this is how the duel finishes. And Yusaku is angry, obviously. He's about to, you know, probably get a little bit violent with them, try and force information out of them. But that's when Yuya shows up, saying, you can't do this. Dueling isn't for hurting other people, it's for bringing smiles and all that cult stuff. Yuya is literally a cult recruitment tool. I am not gonna lie. So yeah, he's saying dueling isn't for hurting people, it's for bringing smiles to others. And obviously, Yusaku gets really pissed at this. He's like, no, it's not. You're just some chummy little boy. Like, he doesn't want to do that. It isn't about making people smile. Our goal, the reason we even came here, was not to make a bunch of people smile. It's to defeat our enemies. It's to get back what we need. Like, he lost Yuzu. He wants to figure out why all this weird stuff is happening in VRAINS. You know, why are people disappearing all of a sudden? And now that he presumes that people are getting carded and not turned into data. That's where he ends. He's like, no, I'm not in it for the smiles or whatever the hell you're talking about. I'm in it to defeat my enemies and complete the goal. And that is where the video ends. So I really hope you enjoy watching this video. Again, you guys may have liked the first video, but I'm not sure if you'll like the second or the next one or any of those. So why don't we get the due date for this? 5 likes on this video by November 30th. And if you accomplish that goal, then I will make a review video on the next one, which I believe is Blue Angel versus Revolver. So thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.